We need your support for the Medicine Man Gallery channel, so make sure to click the subscribe button and tap the little bell icon to be notified when we upload a new video, which we do every morning on Wednesday and Friday. See you soon. So this video is for people who are artists and artists that have already made it to that next level. They've gotten some kind of training, whether it's with other artists, whether it's art school, whether it is some form of actual tutorial training. And now you're really going, okay, now what do I do? Well, there's a couple things you need to do. I think, and of course, if you're a young artist, you already know this, I don't even have to tell you, but you really have to have an Instagram account. It's very important, I think, to have a YouTube account. You know, you can do it through Snapchat. And of course, now today, there's podcasts, and you should try to get on podcasts. I do a podcast. Most of the people I do are going to be artists that are very well established, and probably been working at their craft for at least a minimum of 20 years. But if you can get on a podcast, that's also going to give you an ability for people to start finding you. And there's lots of ways to sell your art. You know, I have friends that are artists, or good artists, that sell through Saatchi Art, they sell through eBay, through Etsy, and through their own website. And of course, that's the other thing. You're going to want to set up your own website. It's very important for people to be able to find you. But I don't think it's really a reasonable thing to think that you're going to start making lots of sales just on your own website or off social media without some effort. And generally getting a gallery is the next step. So one of the things you'll want to do if you're going to contact somebody like me, you should look and see what type of art that I carry and what kind of art that you have. Now, for my gallery, we have well-established artists, and generally I might take only an artist every year. And generally I'm going to know about them. That doesn't mean you couldn't send me an email with your website, and I'll always look. Not all galleries do, but I would always look. But one of the things you want to do is figure out what areas you want to be in the country. Locally is best. You should start out locally if you can. And you don't really need to try to shoot for the best gallery if you're just starting, because they're probably not going to take you, and you're going to waste your time. You're going to waste their time probably. And it's depressing for people to say, oh, I don't want your stuff, you're not there. Well, you could be really great. And I've had some artists that were not that polished to begin with, and I didn't represent them. And then later on, they got to the point where I'm like, yeah, you've made that jump, that leap. And it takes a leap sometimes, because it takes probably, just like Malcolm Gladwell says, 10,000 hours to get to that level. So start off with a reasonable expectations as far as what galleries would represent you. Do not just show up with your work, because they're going to be busy. And especially if it's a busy time for the gallery, they're just going to say, I'm sorry, I don't have time. But you can start with an email and say, here I am. This is who I am. This is my artwork. Are you interested? And that's a very good place to start. And then social media is another. And then the other one that really is probably one of the greatest ways, and I've gotten a lot of artists in my gallery from other artists. So talk to your friends, talk to your cohorts and say, hey, here's my work. I really am looking for a gallery. What do you think? Do you know somebody? Because that contact, that one-to-one connection, really, that's the best way to get in a gallery, I think, if you're not well established, is somebody who is in a gallery that would recommend you to the gallerist. That's a good place to start.